Welcome back to the channel. Boy, I wanted to return with a Chelsea win against Arsenal. I wanted it to be Chelsea that ended Arsenal's current unbeaten run in the league. Look, it wasn't to be. We've come away, home game at Stamford Bridge. We've not lost, which honestly has happened far too much as a Chelsea fan recently. We've got a draw. It's a good point. It feels like we've thrown away 3 points, though. I know we've got one, but really, I'm not going to say we've thrown away 2 points. We've thrown away 3 because it almost feels like a loss. When you're 2-0 up, 70 minutes on the clock, we should be able to see that out. We've got good enough players on the pitch to see that out. And I genuinely believe that, by the way. There was a time last season when I didn't think Chelsea had good enough players on the pitch. But right now, I look at our team, I see a lot of strengths. There are a lot of positives to take out of this result, this game again. Maybe not so much the result. That's what I was trying to say there. Not winning that game in the position that we're in is massive. You asked me before the game, I said we get a draw against Arsenal. That would be pretty good, judging on recent form at home against Arsenal. We kept him quiet for most of the game. The massive positives to take here are Cole Palmer. There is no doubt in my mind this guy is going to be key for Chelsea for a long, long time. He is phenomenal. He's everything I wanted from Mason Mount. He's everything Kai Havertz wanted to be. This kid has got the lot. Composure, coolness, flair, determination, work rate. He's so sharp. Every time the ball comes into his feet, I expect him to retain possession and then create. That was a question mark over players like Kai Havertz. His first touch wasn't always really there. This is a massive upgrade. And actually, I'm going to put it up there as one of Todd Boehly and Clear Lake Capital's best bit of business. 40 million looks like a steal for this boy. He is phenomenal. I'm putting it out there. I see him going to the top. To the top. When he was at City, he was always on the periphery of the squad. I really didn't think Cole Palmer could make the jump. Now he's allowed to have the team flow around him and he can move and dictate play. I can see so much potential in how far he can go. He's got the lot. He's got the lot in that number 10, hybrid centre forward, hybrid 8 role. Honestly, the future is very bright for Cole Palmer. A fantastic signing and a well-deserved man of the match performance today. There's talks that he should have been sent off, by the way. Get a grip. No chance for me. Cole Palmer, top class, solid performance from him. The next positive I want to talk about is Cucurella. Cucurella, credit where credit is due. I have slated Cucurella. I have been his biggest critic because, quite honestly, in a Chelsea shirt, for a long time, Cucurella has not been good enough. Since he's come in this season, it's a new look. He is working so hard. He's fighting for every ball. His determination's there. He looks like a match winner in the way he's winning fouls, running up the pitch, gaining territory, gaining ground, moving us up the pitch. This is stuff Cucurella wasn't doing for Chelsea, even like the end of last season and the very beginning of this season. I don't know what's happened. I don't know whether that failed move to Man United has kind of given him a kick that he needed, but credit where credit's due. He's playing a lot better and he's playing to the level that I kind of expected to see from Cucurella when he joined Chelsea. And I think that all comes down to Pochettino. And that's the third positive I want to talk about. The third positive I want to talk about is Pochettino. A lot of people are going to say, Pochettino's thrown it away there. It's down to the manager. He's got to set up his team better. What Pochettino did today with that lineup, how we've come out against Arsenal, no one was expecting it. No one was expecting Chelsea to go strikerless today. And it worked for 70 minutes. I genuinely thought we were cruising. I really did. Look, we didn't have the ball a lot, but every time we counter-attack, we looked like we'd score. We looked dangerous. We had pace. We had creativity. It's been so long since we've lacked that. We've had that in a Chelsea team. We've lacked that so often. And it was really good to see. And Poch set it up right today. The reason we've drawn that game and we've thrown away those 3 points or ended up with 1 is because of 1, individual errors, and 2, because of allowing Arsenal to get back into that game. The first negative I need to talk about, it's a massive, massive thing here, is Robert Sanchez. this guy isn't good enough to be Chelsea's number one keeper. There are a lot of things to his game that I can see him working on, and he's improving. Look, when he first came to Chelsea, he didn't catch the ball. He tries to do that now. He's adding that to his game. You can see that he's working on it. His distribution is woeful. I was at the Brighton game a couple of weeks ago. He had a shocker. And a lot of people saying, oh, it's because Brighton know him. They know how to press him. They know what to do. This manager knows the reason he dropped him. And do you know what? I was kind of believing that. I was like, yeah, look, maybe he is under pressure against his former team. Today, he started the comeback for Arsenal. That is a woeful pass. Look, fair play to Declan Rice. He had a lot to do. He's absolutely whipped it round the player and into the bottom left corner. So it's a great finish. I know it's an open net, but it's still a good finish. I got a lot of time for a player that has the confidence and the ability to pull that off. Now, back to Robert Sanchez. He's just not good enough. He is not good enough to be Chelsea number one. There are sometimes his distribution's good. And I think that kind of makes people think that all round his distribution's great. That just isn't the case. He's let Chelsea down again today. It's woeful. He come out for that corner. He absolutely clattered two players. He was nowhere near the cross. This guy loses concentration often, and it worries me. And I don't know if I see him lasting in this Chelsea team. I think Pochettino knows a good goalie, and I think he'll have him out the door if we can find a replacement. Because, look, we're going to keep dropping points. The second thing that I need to speak about as a negative is Chelsea. Look, I don't know how to word this without it sounding a little bit too far-fetched, but we scored 2 goals today, one from open play. But it's like it's a fluke. I think Mudryk might have meant it. I want to back him. I want to back that he meant that, because sometimes he tries stuff that is a bit out there, and I think he might have done that, and it's worked, because I don't believe Mudryk is a bad enough footballer to cross that ball and get it so far wrong and away from Raheem Sterling, the only player that was an option with a cross like that. I think he meant it. I really do. I think he gave Raya the eyes, looking like he's going to cross it back post to get him off his line, and he's put it round him. Now, look, I might be hyping him up far too much, and it might just be a fluke, but I'm going to back Mudryk here and say that he could have meant that. He could have meant that. The problem is, though, is that once again, from open play, from build-up, from patterns of play and trying to work something, that isn't what we're going to be trying in training. That isn't how Pochettino wants his team to attack and score goals. I've heard question marks about what Pochettino's instructions are regarding our final third play, and I'm worried about it. Arsenal wanted to attack us today. They wanted to be high up the pitch. We didn't let that happen. We let that happen. We let them have the ball and we counter-attacked. If a team sits back against us in a low block, I don't see how we're breaking them down. And that's my biggest concern. And I think that happened again today, is that from open play, I worry about Chelsea scoring goals. I still think it's a massive problem. And that kind of leads me on to the point that when Jackson come on, for so long, Arsenal centre-backs looked a bit lost. They didn't have anyone to pick up as a focal point today. And that actually caused a lot of problems. And I think it gave Raya a lot of uncertainty. And we know he had an awful game as well. But then he actually, when he made a mistake, he recovered quite well. And even when Jackson went one-on-one with him, he still managed to do well in that scenario. So his mistakes were obviously bad, but Cole Palmer couldn't capitalise on the one that he got on the edge of the box. And I really think that that probably could have won the game and put it out of sight. But my point here is that when Jackson came on, it suddenly gave the Arsenal defence a focal point. Chelsea were looking to play to someone, and it wasn't as fluid. And all of a sudden, things started breaking down. Arsenal were able to win the ball and then start pushing and moving up the pitch and attacking us. And that's where it kind of went wrong for Chelsea. And that ultimately led to them getting back into the game. It concerns me. I'm happy with a point. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we can build on this. We find ourselves back in the top half. I'm fed up with looking at the table as a Chelsea fan and we're not in the top half, to be quite honest with you. I've had enough of that. So onwards and upwards, stuff to build on. A point against Arsenal. If you'd have said that to me before the game, I would have taken it. If you'd have said that to me in the 65th minute, I'd have said you're laughing. So it is what it is. Point's a point. Move up the table, build on it, I'm seeing more positives than negatives at the moment. It's good to be back. Videos will be more regularly again. As you can see, the setup is back in action. If you're new to the channel, like the video, and I will see you in the next one.